Why do you got me so blind?
I am here with special guests. Yes, indeed. I have a special guest. Yeah, he in the house. I ain't know that was your nickname. Your name? Absolutely. Well, there you go. We got some devastating news. We let you guys know. Y'all need to be aware. What you think?
I think they need to remove him, and if he's not doing what we need for our country.
Rebuke him?
Right?
Rebuke him, but don't kill him.
Right. Right.
Okay. Well, how about you?
You still accepting that?
Well, I'm not going to say I support that type of activity, but I do know that the people understands that the government works for the people. And when we're not being served and when the government is acting against the people, well, things happen when that happens. And so that's all I'll say on that.
That's what I think that Iran back up. Okay. First of all, I can't see it. Y'all do. Cause now. Hold on. That is not president now. Y'all, it's true. I want y'all to know. Y'all know that the president lowered the APR on credit cards?
No,
really? Mandated to about 5 or 6%. All the credit card companies, they like to charge you 27% when you got fresh credit, right?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That's how they just
feel. No, we ain't doing none of that. He said we cutting them. He said if you charging over that 5 or 6 or 7%, I don't know what's one of them three. Guess what? Fine.
I'm with that.
You know what I'm saying? And hold on, what else did he do? He also said it don't make sense that all of other countries, all these tariffs. I never knew that them other countries don't be getting taxed like how we get taxed.
Mm-hmm.
Why? And why not? You know what I'm saying? Why would they not be taxing them? Well, not why would we not be taxing them?
There's no taxes on trade or export.
Yeah.
Mm.
He said enough of that. We got who paying for the tax?
We are. At the end of the day.
The audacity.
The taxpayers cover the taxes.
Right. We paying taxes for y'all. And then we paying our taxes. And then taxes on top of our taxes. He said they get taxed when they get that. He said when they go to the store, they got to pay taxes on their food. And I heard that all food was supposed to stop being taxed.
Well, that'll be amazing.
But that's a wrong. What would y'all do if they just stopped taxing everything?
We'd save more money. We'd have a better quality of life.
Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? I agree. Because at the end of the day, we're not supposed to be, according to Congress, taxes are optional.
Yeah. Exactly. And I believe that
if we weren't paying taxes.
And I don't believe sovereign citizens have to pay all those taxes.
And we should be on our way to doing that. I don't know about that part, but I'm going to make sure I find my tribe.
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing that information that, we look and research your tribe so you can connect with me and establish it. I know people who have actually done that. And, I'm like, oh, let me get my tribe. Okay, because let me tell you, I know I'm from here.
Exactly.
I don't, I might have some other parts. I know I got some parts. But we talking about it right now. I need stuff.
Absolutely. When people ask me what's my ethnicity, I'd say I'm American and Irish. You know what I'm saying? Because I got 2 Indian tribes in my blood, and I know that I'm of Irish descent. And I say black to culturally, say where I'm from, but I don't identify as black under the color of law.
I was just recently looking at a department, Department of Human Services.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So they have a new list of what you select when you're selecting your race. I took a picture of it because it blew my mind. I was like confused. Even like people who were filling it out for assisting, they were like confused. They were like, these are the same. First of all, this is not a this. So basically, well, that's the thing on Chicago taxes. Because I was doing research on Chicago taxes too. The taxes went up crazy now. Like, I said crazy, outrageous, like unbelievable crazy. Okay, so on the boxes, and this is for Chicago. When you're checking your race and ethnicity, your options are Caucasian, Black/African American, Indian/Alaskan Native and Black, Indian/Alaskan Native and White, Indian or Alaskan Native, Hawaiian Pacific Islander, Asian, Hispanic, or Latino.
Let's talk about that because I had a conversation when I was in a truck at a rest stop in Montana, and the same conversation that you just said about that Indian Alaskan Native, Black Indian Alaskan Native, White. So the conversation was this guy was like, "Well, I'm indigenous too. I'm from here, but my ancestors are from here, sir. You realize that you guys were not here originally. The original people of this land." Your ancestors came on boats and then they lived here. And so it's like you're not from here. You're here, but you're not of here. You know what I mean? And we really need to just get rid of the whole African American thing. That was made in 86 when I was 3 by Jesse Jackson. And yeah, he gets I'm not going to take that because I'm not Charlemagne. But yeah, he gets some type of sit in the corner with a cone, had a award for that because come on, how you going to do that to your own people? There's no landmass called African American. So where does that put us? In somebody else's jurisdiction.
So we're gonna play some music right now because I got an important phone call. So we're gonna real quick because we want to play music. We just gonna play some Doug O'Lake, what I'm just saying real fast. All right.
I with you heavily, shawty, what we got so rarity. Ain't no comparing, apparently. We get high just for the clarity. Yeah. Always on the side of you. They know I'm gonna ride for you. That's why it's ride or die, cause I love this side of you. I'm just saying. To be honest, I tell you that I wasn't honest about everything. So I'll start from the top and tell you just about everything. No matter what, I'll never change, man. I put that on everything. With you as my witness and everything. Cause you witness everything. Blueprints and everything. Where you is my wedding ring. For you to compliment to everything. I see you accomplishing everything. Throw you a compliment every day. I know you thought this was what I would never say. But I swear I said everything. And if I ever put it all on you, it's to show that I'm serious about everything. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. Whoa, whoa. I fuck with you heavily. Shawty, what we got so rarity. Ain't no comparing, apparently. We get high just for the clarity. Yeah, yeah. Always on the side of you. They know I'm a ride for you. That's why it's ride or die, cause I love this shit out of you. I'm just saying. Ooh, wait. We know that the time flies when the vibe's high and the feeling is great. We know that the limelight always shines bright when it's in your face. I never wanna break your heart. When we together, girl, I fall apart. This is the life for me. With you heavily, shawty, what we got so rarity. Ain't no comparing, apparently. We get high just for the clarity. Yeah. Always on the side of you. They know I'm a ride for you. That's why it's ride or die, cause I love this side of you. I'm just saying. We just for the clarity. Yeah, yeah.
Guys, we are back. That was I'm just saying by Doug O'Lake, honey. And y'all know Doug O'Lake don't never come. Just make me feel out feeling inside. Make me want to be in love. You know, that's Doug's part why I want to be in love. I think I was okay before I started listening to that. Seriously, I think I was perfectly fine before Doug was just, you know, I heard that and I was like, I think I need love.
He
Like,
started crooning you, huh?
Yeah, that cool shit. Right now, I need love. Kind of goofy.
Oh, he just, you know, you love. He probably just been hurt by it, and so you kind of standoffish to it, and so he just reminded you what's really there.
Yeah, you're right. And I have to understand too, like life be like, you know. And I'm an overthinker, and that's one of the worst things because like I'll be like thinking 1,000 things of what could be and what could be to happen, and in my mind, it'd be like 50 wrong things. Right? But my great nice person be like, give them the benefit of doubt. It could have been a, you know, like something crazy, you know, like what if they're dead or, you know, just anything like during certain situations. So I just, you know, trying to get y'all give people the benefit of doubt. Y'all do that?
No, I'm no longer doing the benefit of the doubt. I'm trusting my discernment, and I'm gonna trust behavior patterns. So one thing that I've recognized that I've learned in relationships, you don't. It's not important to listen to what a person say, especially if you've recognized that they're liars, if they're not truthful. And so, first of all, it takes time to truly get to know a person. And so, in that time, you got to pay attention to how truthful are they. You know, are their words matching their actions? Pattern recognition tells me to watch your patterns instead of your words because you could tell me anything. You know what I mean? But
Yeah,
them
right.
them actions ain't lining up with it.
They give me good words.
Man, talking good game, you know, sell water to a well, and then next thing you know, we looking out there looking for a sail to try to get back to shore.
I'm the well guy.
You know what I'm talking about? So.
Save me somebody. I hope my friend from Arkansas can save me because you are a wholesome Southern and you be having good, you know, suggestions. I don't know, but you know, I'll be picking them kind of crazy.
What kind of love advice you got from Arkansas for us today?
Oh man, just love her, love her like you love. Just love me like I love you. You know, like my job is to take care of what your job is to take care of me, which means like you take care of the household, the cooking and stuff like that. I take care of the bills, the water bill, the light bill, the everything utilities, everything else, and then we match our combined love, just not with money, just not with what we're giving. When we get, we match it with time.
Exactly.
And then we have to be of black love because we have to have our young guys look at these women as like as a mother figure and as a it's like a sister too. You can't like call them like a hoe or at their name or anything like that because that's somebody else's daughter. You know, so you have to like treat them respect, especially with women. You know, women like y'all can't get mad at guys say like, okay, you have mad on Bill and stuff like that. You don't know that guy. So because if she rather think he's gonna think he's gonna want something else. You know, I did that. You know what you want to do. You don't have to sell yourself short. You're a beautiful young lady. You know, so you have to bring that. So you have to bring that to the table, and he has to bring effort to the table, and then all that is gonna come on the line.
Exactly.
Okay, talk that. What are y'all going to bring that effort? Okay, you said both y'all got to bring that stuff to the table, baby. We'll be talking about
Exactly.
what you got, bring it.
Exactly. Now that's a perfect example of what matching energy should be.
Well, we also got, you know.
No, we had us out here.
What do you mean?
We say on air.
No, I did that for this. That's just a light.
Yeah, no, but it's been a lot of tension, you know, and just since 2026 started. We just got here. Okay. I feel like I watched wrestling right before I watched it on New Year's Day. Me and my daughters, you know, like, because I didn't know that I didn't know they like watching wrestling, and they was like naming stuff. And I feel like watching that kind of made the year start off a little hectic. You know, I'm like, I shouldn't watch this. I should watch House on the Prairie or something. You know, where's Lassie? Rather have a lost dog. You know, all this craziness. We just went to, what is this, Wildberry. We're moving into Wildberry, right before we get to Wildberry, literally probably seconds before, somebody throws something through the window. So now people are scattered. We coming in, we don't know what the hell going on. Okay? We like, oh, ready to eat. They're like, I seen some guy with a suit and a walk out like fast. Like, I'm like, I thought he was security for like a credential or something. I don't know. Like, what are you doing in Wildberry? It's just a pancake place, right? That he worked there. He got walkie-talkies in that joint. They were like freaking out. Apparently, maybe somebody was angry.
Yeah.
Or maybe somebody had like a mental illness, you know. We got a lot of that in Chicago.
Yeah.
Like everywhere. Because a lot of our mental facilities are not open. So like y'all be careful out here, you know. People out here throwing bricks in the Wildberry windows at 12 o'clock on the 15th or 16th. Happy belated birthday. Say that too.
Yeah, belated.
People like got a lot of reservations without paying because they be coming out with these documents and stuff, with this government stuff, talking about what he did and all this. And what did y'all do? What are you doing now? Okay.
Let's talk about that for a second. At the end of the day, people tend to forget that these people are still people. He's just a man. And so we were only shown him in the light of what he did on the podium. We don't know that man's life, who he was and what he was like. One thing that I've learned about celebrities, politicians, and all that, they're just people at the end of the day that are in a position of power and have a lot of monetization with it. But one thing about money is amplification of character.
My only thing is, here's where I digress. Because a lot of, so we'll say Martin Luther King is like a church figure, not just a figure, he's a church figure.
Yeah. And Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King.
Yeah. So now we know, like, okay, they say he did all these other things. My thing is, I just really feel like if pastors and preachers and reverends and all that other stuff were honest about what they currently do, even with themselves.
Yeah.
All of telling the congregation, all that. You gotta be honest with yourself.
Yeah.
And I feel like we would get to better places if they were honest with themselves. We just seen Drewski. Y'all see Drewski video with the Christian Dior suit? They cutting up about that. The Christians is upset. They are upset. Okay.
I mean, Christian Dior is a brand, not tied to the religion, right?
No, you didn't see the video. So
no,
Drewski,
I didn't see the video.
You know Drewski, right?
Yeah, I know.
Right. So Drewski, he had on this suit fit. Let me just say that because he like to wear a lot of Christian. So he had a Christian Dior suit, but I didn't know that another pastor actually wore the exact suit. And he had the diamond chain with the pastor had about four links on his neck. Then he elevated into it. On them strings that Chris Brown be on when he be dancing. And I'm like, now Drewski just going too far until they showed me a video, 2 videos. They got one pastor up here walking through the crowd like he's Jesus, but not walking through the crowd because he on the strings.
It's floating up.
And they had about 12 drummers. And I said, I got drummers suspended in the air at a Christmas concert. How much was these tickets?
Exactly.
Whose church is this? Why are they in the air? Okay. And then
somebody come and look at this.
Right. They're getting mad because he done made a skit video of exactly what they did. Okay. I'm like, the internet will always win.
Wow. Whew.
Do y'all think like it was risky? Because I know like people are like, oh, he shouldn't be saying that about this. Or do you think like the church people need to like have a realization to understand like, wake up? Okay.
I think the church people just need to stop being so judgmental.
Absolutely. I totally agree. I remember I told somebody I was an Israelite and they were like, well, aren't the Israelites really like, girl, like, is you cool? Every time I come around, it be a look, because I ain't gonna. I go to churches sometimes, not all churches. Some of them, smaller ones, and people who know me or my parents, and it just the sermon start turning out to be about me. You know what I'm saying? Now this ain't when I go to other churches that people don't know me. Only when people know you, and they be like, so I sat here, I came to observe service, and now you gonna make the service about me. I'm like, and then when you're living your life in sin, and they look right at you. So you got to get yourself together. You keep walking on that path. I'm like, what path am I walking on? I'm not a prostitute, okay? Never been a prostitute. I'm just never done coke. Never. Not judging folks. Do whatever y'all do, okay? But this is cool. So what we gonna support is clean and free. I'm not like a rapper who out here like, you know, I ain't got like 4 boyfriends. I don't got 4 girlfriends. You know, I ain't got both. You know, I ain't doing bestiality. I'm just working at stuff. Like, what is it that, you know, I be just
Bestiality is
holding the
crazy.
mic is just so dangerous. This is what I do when I'm outside. I'm holding the mic. Okay. Or I'm like sometimes DJ. You know, it's like, and I agree. I think that the church folks definitely over kind of criticize. And then when it comes to the young folks, I think that's why it's hard for the younger people to connect with the church.
I totally agree. I actually had a couple of religious wounds myself growing up, and breaking away from Christianity, because I'm no longer a religious person, but I'm very spiritual, and my relationship with Christ, well, with God, is first and foremost in my life, above any and all things. But it looks different for me than what the ideology of what the church thinks it should look like, and that's where the problem comes in. Because my experience, I was told to come as you are, and then I come as I am, and now you got to change everything. You got to be like this. Can't do that. You got to do this. We're gonna put you into this box, and that's acceptable. No.
Like, what? Well, I don't belong here.
Now I'm here in a system. I'm losing my identity of who I am, having an internal existential crisis, and then you don't have the solutions for me, because all you're telling me to do is go to God, and then I'm coming to you, who are the leader, and there's no solution. It's a loop. But then it's judgments. Anytime you act outside of what they think you should look like, be like, act like, do, think like.
Right.
I didn't. I'm not a carbon copy of anybody's. Imagining. I'm here to be what I was created to be, who I was created to be, and do the purpose that I'm here for, authentically. And that's when you do that, you become a problem to systems. But at the end of the day, if it was more of an understanding, then they will understand that the same thing that liberated me is what they are teaching. And so,
and then just my only hope is that the cycle doesn't continue.
Exactly.
We did get some words. Y'all know I love me some Oprah. Sometimes people be calling me Oprah, and I'm like, I don't know, weird stuff, yeah, But Oprah said that she found out that you don't get obese from overeating.
Mm-mm.
She said obesity causes you to overeat. I'm not sure how much I believe it, but like,
obesity caused you to overeat?
Yeah.
No, let's look at the truth of the facts.
Like, it's the food, right?
It's the processed foods. Honestly, it's the chemicals that's in the food that causes that, because high fructose corn syrups is one of the chemicals that affects our brains in a way that it becomes addictive to us, and so it makes us crave those foods that make us gain weight. On top of the fact, those foods feed the bad bacteria in our gut that causes weight gain, versus the lean bacteria in our body that help us to process it in a way that promotes more of lean muscle growth, versus the bad bacteria that promotes the fat. And so that is the cause of it, but people don't know it until it's 20 years down the later a lot of the times. And a lot of the problems and the complications, the diseases that come along with it is set in, and now it's a uphill battle, a mountain to climb.
Well, there's been a lot of battles. All right, we just got 2026. Okay, they're talking about war. China over there talking stuff. I didn't know that China was getting Venezuelan oil though. Like, why would they be getting oil from right here around the corner? Listen, y'all gotta have real understanding too. Like, why would we have them right there, like Russia and China right there with like bases and like, y'all know how close Venezuela is to us?
China done bought up most of the Caribbeans. China has bought up most of the Caribbeans, but most people don't know that.
And that's what I'm saying. They buying a lot of America, and y'all just sitting here over here acting crazy. When they come over here and should then be talking about order and all this kind of stuff, then what? When they try to make us communists, then what? When
you know what?
About a credit score, then what? Cross the street, can't go to the store today because they blocked your car because you crossed the street jaywalking. Yes, that's what it is in China, for real. Sorry.
Tell you what, it's a game that I played that kind of shocked me with the accuracy of it, and it was called Homefront. And this was when Black Ops 3 was out, and sometime when the PS3 was still the main one, the 4 hadn't even dropped yet. And I played that game I've played a lot of war games, Medal of Honor, Call of Duty, and all of that. But this one was different. It was about a war that was fought here in America, and it was in alliance with Russia and China. And it put real life events of like Kim Jong Un taking over and his father's successor over his older brother, which actually happened. And so when I played that game and then it started happening, I'm like, hold on, what's going on here? That's another one of the moments. But at the same time, I mean, at the end of the day, you have to be accountable for how you treat people. You can't go around the world treating people any kind of way, think that it's going to continue. If you make amends for it, if you cease and stop, then you can start to repair relationships. But if you don't care, then I mean, it's only going to create more chaos. And anything as people, we get back what we put out.
Yeah, we do sometimes, not all the time, but most of the time,
It may not be in the same way.
Yeah,
Karmically, energetically, it comes back. It might be tied to something we did 20 years ago.
Well, guys, that was our special report. Okay, Ctrl Alt Delete. What you go do, Lola? Of course, and of course, my special guest, Addison, and my other special guest,
Key. Yeah, here we are.
Where do they follow y'all on social media?
Well, you can follow me on Instagram at KANMCG333 or Keen Elevated Awareness.
Follow me on Addison Baker on Facebook.
All right. Don't be sending no weird stuff to my friend because I will get on that. All right, y'all. It's been a blast.
The Chicago.
Absolutely.
We appreciate y'all for tuning in for this short segment. We have to get y'all some little breaking news. Go get y'all a little break. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.